Hey guys, what is up? And as you can guess from the title, today I'm going to be celebrating the 500 sub special. Thank you very much for the 500 subscribers, and as of filming this video, I actually have 520 subscribers. So yeah, hopefully the channel will grow. So today the video is mainly to answer your questions, and a while ago I asked on my Instagram and also on my Facebook to ask me anything, and a lot of you have been very kind to send me in questions. So today I'll be answering them, plus all the questions from a live session with Mr. Money TV last Saturday. I thought it would be rude for me to not answer some of your questions as well comments during the live chat, and I apologize because I didn't have the time to answer all of those questions, and I'll be doing in this video. So I will try to be as raw as possible. I did not script anything in this video. So yeah, there you go. Today I'll be giving my raw response towards your question, and hopefully you enjoy this video. So I will start off with the questions from the live session with Mr. Money TV. So number one, we have from Becky. What's your main industry as an analyst? So I mentioned in the stream, I'm actually an analyst for a local public listed company in the power industry. So yep, in the power industry. So Yin Hao, Ziet is not holding a fork. What? Okay, next we have from McDowell. What do you think of the current yet to be approved government budget? Will it affect market if the budget not approved? Okay, I won't try to be neutral and I will be straightforward with you. If the government budget is not approved, then I would expect some sort of decline in the stock market. Should be around the 5 to 15% range. That's just my own speculation, because it's proven in the past that political uncertainty will bring unrest and foreign investors will pull out from the country if there's some sort of political uncertainties looming around. So if the foreign investors pull out from our local scene, then rest assured the market will decline. And history has proven, look at Venezuela, it has the largest oil reserve in South America. But where is it today? It has collapsed last year in 2019. So political uncertainty and also governmental incompetency will be one of the factor or risks that will actually hurt the country. And next we have A. Daniel. What course he take? I'm actually a mechanical engineering graduate from University Tenaga Nasional, a local graduate. I graduated in 2018, and when I started work, I started straight in the commercial department, which is what I'm doing right now as an analyst. Next, we have from Alex Leong. Who is Ziet? Well, I'm just a normal Malaysian dude looking at the camera with a fork microphone in his hand, talking about personal finance and investing in general. And welcome on board. Nice to meet you. Next, we have from Royal. The M1 chip from Apple, strong. Actually, I wanted to respond to this in the live stream, but I did not have the opportunity to. And yes, as you can guess from the live stream, I was a bull for Apple. So Apple just recently released their M1 chip for the latest Mac OS or their MacBook lineup. So the M1 chip, let me just put it in the context of their cheapest M1 chip MacBook right now is almost as powerful, if not more powerful, than their most expensive MacBook Pro 16-inch. And their cheapest lineup, which is the MacBook Air, can easily beat any Windows PC out there right now. So I foresee a great prospect and also a lot of headroom for Apple to grow. And conversely for Intel, I don't have a good feeling for them because AMD has been outperforming in the chip department and Apple has been pulling out from Intel chips. So yep, Apple could be the way moving forward. Next, we have from Steven Ng. Ziet, how do you define qualitative analysis on a stock? Is it just on quality alone, as you mentioned earlier? In research, quantity is about statistics, but qualitative had a different meaning though. Okay, I'm not sure whether I got your questions right, but you were mentioning about how about the qualitative portion? Is it just quality of the stock? Well, of course, there's a lot of factors that we have to look at when it comes to qualitative. It is not just the business model itself. It's the top-down approach. What's the industry that it is in? What's the country that it's domiciled and where its business operations are? And what are the prospects of the governmental regulations towards this industry? So there's definitely a lot of ways that you can look at qualitative analysis, and that also includes the management, the CEO, the business model, all of those will take into place. So it is not just looking at the quality of the business. So next we have from medunno, a Bitcoin avatar. Any comment on oil and gas stocks? Okay, personally, I do not fully understand oil and gas stocks, but when I started investing since day one, I set 2 rules for myself. One, I will never invest into oil and gas industries because to me, it's a sunset industry that will be depleted in maybe 30 to 50 years and be replaced by cleaner fuel resources. And number 2, I will never invest into companies that is involved in the gaming industry. The taxes that may change from time to time with government, so those are the risks that I do not want to take. So no oil and gas and no gaming industry for me. Next we have from A Daniel, Neo got very good service, man. Yes, Daniel, actually I missed out in the live stream. Neo does have a very good business model. So for those that are not familiar with Neo, they actually have this thing called the battery swap technology. Battery as a service, BAS. So what they do, they actually, instead of you charging your electric vehicle in 30 minutes, they actually do this battery swap technology where you swap a new battery just like you go to any petrol stations, and within 3 minutes you get a full tank of your electric. So they do argue that this is more suitable for the Chinese in the mainland China. So because most of the Chinese live on condos and apartments, so they don't really have landed houses, so charging stations may be a problem. So battery swap technology could work very well in the mainland of China, but my main concern will always be it is going head to head with Tesla. Well, for sure everyone has the fair share of the EV pie, but if given the choice, me as the consumer myself, I would definitely purchase Tesla at the same price tag. Next we are from Chimp Jin, would you buy an EV or normal petrol car? Well, given the financial capability, I would definitely buy an EV vehicle right now. Of course, the main reason will be I'm not financially capable of buying one. Plus, it is not feasible yet to buy an electric vehicle in Malaysia. Now, let's look at the cheapest electric vehicle we have right now. I think it's the Nissan Leaf, which is almost more than 180k ringgit right now. And it really doesn't make sense to buy such an expensive vehicle when the amount of charging stations are so limited, and most of the condos right here don't even have charging stations. So it is not convenient and also not economically reasonable to buy an EV right now. But for those who actually think of buying a new vehicle right now, so I would say that this is actually the best time to buy an ICE vehicle right now, which is your normal petrol engine vehicle, because I foresee electric vehicle will start to penetrate the Malaysian, the Asian market in around 10 years, because we will always be the last to receive anything good from the advanced economies. So there will still be headroom before electric vehicle is mainstream in Malaysia. Next we have from Kelvin Lew, even if the MacBook costs 10,000 ringgit, but with it you can earn 100,000 ringgit, it's still good value. Yes, actually this was something that I want to stress out. Don't just look at the price tag of the product, look at the value that it brings. For a 10,000 ringgit MacBook, yes, it may look like it is very expensive, but the amount of value that it brings, the productivity that it helps you, it will generate more revenue, more return as compared to your normal 3,000 ringgit Windows laptop. And let's be honest, you can just go and ask any professional video editors, photo editors, or even software programmers. They all still prefer Mac OS as their main operating system because Mac OS is generally more powerful in a lot of aspects. Next we have Wasit Kanokwongnuwat. Is eToro really safe? Can I put like 50% of my portfolio in it? I live in Thailand. Overseas trades cost like $30 per trade. Okay, Wasit, I totally understand what you feel because I myself started off investing in the US market via local banks, and I pay $25 per trade, which is crazy. It's totally not liquid, and it's very hard to dollar cost average at that price point. So I will answer your first question, is eToro really safe? Can I put like 50% of my portfolio in it? Now, if you ask me, I'm still skeptical about eToro. But of course, it is regulated in the Europe, in the UK, as well as Australia. But personally, if I were to hold US stocks, I would preferably have it governed or insured by the SIPC, the Securities Investor Protection Corporation. So can I put like 50% of my portfolio in it? I would say that 50% is slightly more on the dangerous side to put your money into an app that you have no control should something catastrophic happen to the company itself. So try to diversify your holdings. You can have multiple brokerage firms. If you think that 50% is too much, you can try to open another international brokerage firm account as well. So by diversifying your currency, you are taking less risk with different brokerage firms. So I would totally recommend you to use Interactive Brokers or TradeStation Global, and that's what I'm using myself. Next, we have from Gan Chee Kai, any trading platform to recommend to trade or invest in the US market. So as I mentioned earlier, I've made a video comparing 7 brokers. I would totally recommend Interactive Brokers, and I'm using it myself, and a lot of people have been using it and praising it. So at $1.50 minimum per trade, it's really a very good deal, and it's a good bargain for you to have a very liquid method for you to dollar cost average your investments and just generally reduce your investment risk. Next, we have questions from Anta. How many shots would you take for your long-term portfolio? How many stocks would you hold in your portfolio? Alright, this is a bit harder for me to answer, but as of right now, I hold about 6 stocks in my US portfolio. So those are Apple, Tesla, Baba, Xiaopeng, XPEV, and also Ark Invest, and also Ark W, which is their internet ETF. So as of right now, I'm totally happy to sit on these stocks because I believe that Tesla and Apple will be my core backbone for my portfolio, and any other smaller companies will just be smaller speculative play for the better risk and reward ratio. So how many shots would you take for your long-term portfolio? So I'm not sure how many shots I would take, because as time progresses, I'll have more income and I'll have more money to invest, plus the market could change. So as of right now, I would say I'll just focus on these 6 that I have on my hand right now. But if there's any good opportunity or prospect coming in, I would definitely go in. Next, we have from Royal, Ark Invest. Their valuation a bit insane, but I don't know. They predict Tesla 7,000. Maybe they are right because they did actually very thorough research. Well, okay, the thing about Ark Invest, a lot of people don't understand. The way they do their research is very different from the traditional mutual funds and unit trusts or the usual ETFs that focuses more on the business viability today as opposed to what it is in the future. So for Ark Invest, they actually invest into disruptive technologies that a lot of people still doesn't understand. So these disruptive technologies such as Tesla or Square that wants to disrupt the automobile industry and also the financial industry respectively, and I do see there's a lot of headroom for these companies to grow, because in the past 2 years, Ark has already proven that its ETF has already doubled or tripled in value. So Ark ETF is definitely something that I would love to add on more as time progresses. But one risk that actually bumps me is that the minority shareholder is actually trying to take over control of the Ark Invest from Katie Wood. Although it is not in the interest of those minority shareholders to chase away Katie Wood and the team, I would say that it is not so much of a risk right now, and it is something that I can bear with it. So next, we have Carina Lee. Are there any SaaS stocks, software as a service, I guess, that you both like? Okay, I will just answer for me. For SAAS stocks, I did not put much effort to research about it, but I do have a few in my mind. So for mega cap stocks, definitely Google is one of the best SAAS stocks that I'm looking in right now. It's still very pricey. I might just buy it through QQQ, the Nasdaq index. And for a younger generation SaaS stocks, I'm actually looking at this company called Palantir, PLTR, which is a big data company that serves a lot of big customers. So as of today, they have about 132 customers, which are from large corporates and also governments. So one of their largest clientele is Airbus, so that just speaks volume to the prospect of Palantir. But one risk that I would like to address is they haven't been profitable for 17 years since their incorporation, and their IPO was actually a direct listing, which could give me a red flag that it is actually an exit IPO instead of the normal fundraising IPO that we usually see from other companies. So that's something for you to research on. Okay, next we have from SCG. Hey Ziet, just subscribe after seeing you on Mr. Money TV. Like your content on Stash Away, especially the one comparing the different percentages. How about step by step on how you pick, analyze stocks for your 500 sub special? Okay, I would totally make a complete video to actually talk about it, but just a quick brief through. I'll actually look at the economy that I would like to invest in. So US, it is a no-brainer. It is the largest economy in the world. So essentially any stocks in the US, especially the top 10 or 20 stocks, actually good companies that has a very good business mode. So after looking at the economy, I look at the industry. So technology is something that I'm very bullish about, although it is really grossly overvalued right now. So proceed with care with technology. And then I look at the industry that actually has a better prospect or future. Those sunrise industries such as electric vehicle, renewables, big data, AI, or data centers. So yeah, as to whether which company I will pull my trigger upon, it actually depends on whether I like the company's business mode. If it's something that is hard to be replicated by the competitor, then I would definitely invest into that company regardless of its price right now. And if it's really overvalued, then I'll just dollar cost average and enter at different positions. Next we have from Patrick03, long-term investment for under 18. Okay, for under 18, I would say that do not focus so much on the monetary value of investment. Instead, focus more on the knowledge part. I would say start off by reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad to really understand what is money and how money moves, and really understand why you want to accumulate assets rather than liabilities. So once you understand that, then you can move on to more advanced books and knowledge on the internet. So learn to read financial statements and annual reports, then you learn how to read between the lines in the financial statements. So those will actually help you to foster a better investing habit rather than just jump on a gun. So another platform I would totally recommend you before you jump onto the stock market is Stashaway or any robo-advisor in general. So those are really low risk investments because robo-advisors like Stashaway invest into a very diversified range of assets. So it is a rather low risk investment vehicle and it's perfect for you to start taking on minimal risk while you learn on the go. So next we have from Alex, what our elders money advisors no longer holds true to us millennium. Okay, I can't speak for others, so I can just speak for myself. The advice that I've always gotten is to be safe and store your cash and save and save and save. So I think that advice is really obsolete in today's age. You are just going to get beaten and eaten by the currency depreciation plus the inflation going on. And if you are not taking any risk, you're actually getting poorer year by year, regardless whether your bank account grows or not, because your money is going to lose its purchasing power as time progresses and things are going to get more expensive. So yeah, that's my take on one of the advice that are totally obsolete in today's age. So next we have from Zach, after your video about best brokers, I'm kind of worried about Tiger Brokers. Should I switch to TradeStation Global? Okay, first of all, I would like to say that do not get worried based on just what I've said. Those are just my own personal findings and it may not actually reflect what's happening in the real world. Okay, so I'm just analyzing based on my personal experience and my personal analysis. So it may be right or it may be wrong. So if you are still worried about Tiger Brokers, then feel free to switch on to any other platform that you personally like. So as I've said in my previous video, Tiger Brokers is actually backed by the SIPC of the US, plus it also holds its stocks via interactive brokers. So that is something for you to consider. If you are still worried, then feel free to switch to any platform that you like. Next we have from Nelson, hi Ziet, just started to follow you a few days ago. Awesome video on different trading platform comparison. Thank you. Question, what are the charges towards dividends from US equities when using TradeStation Global? Okay, TradeStation Global doesn't charge any custodian fee, but as a general tax regulation by the US, any dividends received by foreign investors like us, a non-US citizen, will be taxed by a 30% withholding tax. That means any $1 of your dividends, you will only receive 70 cents instead. So that is not a fee charged by TradeStation Global, but instead it's a fee withheld by the US tax regulations. So Nelson's second question, please do recommend good apps, sites that you use to screen and read about US listed companies. Something like KLSE Screener. Haha, thank you. Okay, for the US stocks, it's pretty straightforward. I use Yahoo Finance a lot because they have a lot of data on Yahoo Finance. And next, I also use this website called Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is also something like an analyst report where they try to dissect things in terms of qualitative and quantitatively. So that's a very good platform to read on. Plus, I always tell people to install Bloomberg on their phone and turn on the app notification, because you will get the benefit of getting notified by Bloomberg for what's happening in the world on your mobile phone. So next we have question from Sean. What stocks are in your portfolio? So I actually have two portfolio. So the stocks that I hold in my Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange portfolio are dividend stocks such as Maybank, YTL REITs, and also Sun REITs. So for my US portfolio is where I put all my growth stocks and ETFs. I hold Tesla, Apple, Xiaopeng, Baba, ARKK, and ARKW. So next we are from the legend himself, Sivasathish. He actually have a blog, so go check it out. So the background story behind why you took personal finance so seriously at a young age. Am I young? Or did I miss the story in your earlier videos? Well, actually I started all this financing content and journey back in 1.5 years ago. July 2019, that's where I started investing. So my initial intention was to create a passive income portfolio that can actually help me to achieve financial independence. And as I've learned more and know more, I've actually moved on from dividend stocks to growth stocks. So I got attracted into stocks and I wanted to share my story and document my growth as well. And I also thought this is a very good opportunity to push myself to learn more and share and bring more value towards the community, because that way we can actually bring more financial literacy towards more Malaysians. Next we are from Kelvin Lew. How many hours do you sleep a night? Right, I actually sleep fairly lesser right now after I started all this content creation. So I sleep about 6 hours, at extreme cases around 4 to 5 hours a day. And because I have to go to work at 8:30 a.m, so I have to wake up at 8 a.m, so I usually go to bed around 2:30 a.m to 3:30 a.m. depending on my workload, because apart from my full-time job, I'm also doing side hustles in terms of YouTube plus Instagram. Plus on top of all of that, I still have commission jobs that actually requires my attention around 2 to 3 hours every night. So time is a luxury that I don't have right now, and I'm really packed with my schedule and I'm still juggling with a lot of things. But YouTube will always be my priority because you guys are my main priorities. And plus I actually work through the weekends and there's actually no rest day for me, and I'm actually recording this video on a Sunday night at 11 p.m. So once I wrap up this shoot, I still have to transfer my images and videos into my laptop, so that will take around 1.5 hours, and on top of that I still have to curate my content for Instagram. So the grind and hustle is always on and it will never stop. Next we have question from I'm Ran. Do you wish you took a different course for university? Okay, I would not say that I would want different course because I'm glad that I took this path, although I'm not practicing engineering by all means. To be honest, without my current job, I would not have the opportunity to learn about analysis as an analyst, as well as learn about finance in general. So this job actually gave me a very good place to learn about finance and actually help me in my investing career. So I would not say I want a different course, but maybe an opportunity abroad would be nice. But yeah. So next we have a question from Andrew Aaron. Do you remember trash talking your opponents and yelling at them at CC? He actually meant cyber cafe, which is an internet cafe. Yeah, as you guys may have or may not know, I was a gamer back then. So to answer your question, yes, I still remember fondly of all the memories. Those are the best time in my life and it still lives in my memory. So whenever I'm down, I will always think back to the good days when I'm actually playing games and also competing at the highest level, whether is it on the university level or the district level or the national level. Those are the greatest memories in my life. So yes, I do still miss Dota, but I don't have the luxury of time to play it right now. Next we have a question from Mr. Review on Wasit Invest, bro. It's unrated, you mean underrated robo investment which is doing excellent. And yes, I do understand there's a huge market for the Muslim community for Wasit Invest, but currently I'm still committed to stash away, and I've actually received about 3 requests for me to talk about Sharia compliant stocks or investments. So this is something that is in my backlog and I'll actually attend to it when I have the time. So yeah guys, that is all for tonight's questions and answers. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A sessions. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. I would definitely love to answer more of your questions. Don't treat me like a YouTuber or a personality or whatnot. Just treat me like a friend, and I'm totally cool for a chat with you. And last but not least, for the 500 subscriber special, I want to say thank you very much for watching my content. The past few months have been phenomenal for me. It took me around 47 days to grow from 0 to 100 subscribers, and about 46 days from 100 to 200, and about 44 days from 200 to 300 subscribers, and about 17 days from 300 to 400, and right now it's about 8 days where I hit 500 from 400. So things are really moving right now, and I'm really happy. But deep down I know it would not be possible without the viewers, those that are actually watching this video at the back of this lens. So thank you very much for watching my content, and cheers to more financing and investing contents. So yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you very much for your time for watching until this point. If you stayed until this point, I know it's a bit lengthy, but hopefully I answered all of your questions to your liking. And thank you very much once again for the 500 subscribers. Cheers to more, and as usual, stay safe, stay invested, and I'll see you in the next one.